Did Hua Xiaoxi send you? Zhao Yu squinted. Who's Hua Xiaoxi? I don't know, Hua Dahai stubbornly replied. Do I know you? Why would you try to kill me for no reason? I don't like you. Is that not enough? Hua Dahai was truly perplexed at this moment. Why would Zhao Yu have such a group of gunmen with him? They were clearly not ordinary. They were likely trained militarily, a luxury only major powers could afford. Huang Mao and others brought over the weapons from Hua Dahai and his men. Zhao Yu glanced over them. 4 guns in total, 1 shotgun, and 3 pistols. Their condition was ragged one too. There were a bunch of sticks and knives, more than what Hua Dahai and his men had brought. A gun would be enough to kill him. Why would they bring all these weapons? If you don't want to talk, that's fine. The only person I can think of is Hua Xiaoxi. Since she sent you, I'll capture her first. It was my idea. She has nothing to do with her. Hua Dahai was immediately panicked, hastily replying, Zhao Yu, if you dare to touch her, I'll kill you.
Hua Dahai was defiant, struggling continuously.
It was evident that his sister meant a lot to him. They're here for me. Stop the bleeding, tie them up and bring them along. Why should I listen to you? The captain replied Zhao Yu. Heh. Where's the gun one gave you before? Stubble-bearded big brother knelt on the spot. Brother Zhao Yu, they took my gun. Retrieve it. When one asks for it, you'd better have it on you, Zhao Yu casually remarked. H2. The captain grasped Zhao Yu's veiled threat and felt a deep sense of oppression. He remembered Zhao Yu's words from the black market. Zhao Yu declared that with his capabilities, he could revive any bankrupt companies and make 20, 30, or even 50 million. The captain felt that perhaps Zhao Yu could genuinely accomplish that. Stop the bleeding. As stubble-bearded big brother nervously picked up his gun and approached Zhao Yu, the captain issued the order to treat Hua Dahai and his men's injuries. Zhao Yu smiled and nodded as these guards would listen to him to some extent. Of course, as long as he doesn't try to escape. After all, their families were under the threat of the Huang family. Tactics of tricking these guards against the Huang family was out of the question. Zhao Yu's goal was to have these guards follow his minor instructions, making it easier for his subsequent plans. After this diversion, Hua Dahai gradually calmed down and began to explain. This has nothing to do with my sister. I had a little brother in school looking after her. He said you harassed her, so one took action. She knows nothing about it. I harassed her? Wasn't it always Hua Xiaoxi who was pestering him? However, he understood that Hua Dahai was trying to shoulder the blame. Zhao Yu showed his respect to honor Hua Dahai and his followers by treating their wound for not revealing any secrets to them. This loyalty was far superior to that of people like stubble-bearded Big Brother. At least he could worry less about betrayal. Zhao Yu instructed stubble-bearded Big Brother to collect the weapons and equipment brought by Hua Dahai and his men. The Huang family guards have no interest in these worn-out weapons, allowing Zhao Yu to collect them. All the motorcycles brought by Hua Dahai and his group were also taken. Zhao Yu even specially borrowed a few men from the captain to help ride them back. On the way, Zhao Yu asked Hua Dahai's hideout. Even if Zhao Yu threatened him using his sister if he still remained silent, Hua Dahai still would not spill a word. Unexpectedly, his subordinate told Zhao Yu about the location. Brother, eking idiot.
Uodai kursed.
Yang, our lives are all yours. We could die for you and our sister, Xiaoxi. You must have watched too many television dramas. If you don't say anything, second brother and the rest will know that we've been kidnapped. There's still a chance for them to rescue us. Now, eighth brother cursed himself after he thought about it. Zhao Yu rolled down the window and said to a youngster riding a motorcycle beside him, "Report to Captain Huang that I'll need his help soon." The youngster immediately slowed down his motorcycle to relay the message. Given the skills of the guards, they could easily take out his remaining men. However, he also made a discovery during his captivity. The guards weren't actually under Zhao Yu's command. In fact, they seemed to harbor animosity towards Zhao Yu. But paradoxically, they were protecting him. There seemed to have some conflict between them. Hua Dahai decided to wait and observed whether the Captain Huang would cooperate. The captain had already briefed Leader Huang on the entire situation, including the detail about the bank being in Bing City. Surprisingly, Leader Huang didn't blame him. Instead, He praised him and advised that as long as Zhao Yu doesn't leave Bing City, his minor requests should be obliged. Father, Zhao Yu has killed our people. Are we really protecting him? Huang Zilong questioned his father. Considering Zhao Yu's performance in the black market, he seems to be quite a figure. If he can actually turn 10 million into 20 million in a month as he claims, then it's a win for us. But our men were killed. Huang Zilong stressed. Think properly. Are those dead men worth 10 million? Even if they were all dead, they wouldn't worth 10 million. Understand? Enough. You still don't get it. You'll understand it soon. But Huang Zilong wanted to argue about loyalty, but he knew his father was not listening. Brother Zhao Yu, Captain Huang agreed to help, said the youngster on the motorcycle. After today's events, people like stubble-bearded Big Brother and his gang were both fearful and respectful of Zhao Yu. They remembered their choice to stop the attempt to attack Zhao in a private room, which it turned out to be a good choice. Hua Dahai interjected, "Ask them not to act rashly. I surrender. I can convince my people to lay down their arms." Hua Dahai knew the capabilities of his remaining men. They were no match for Captain Huang's guards. A direct confrontation would be a death sentence. Surrendering might give them a fighting chance. With the agreement to peacefully surrender, Zhao Yu and Hua Dahai discussed the specifics details. Soon, they arrived at a building near Bing City University. Hua Dahai's were released to convince his brothers. Go on, tell your men to come out and surrender. If you deceive me, you know the consequences, Zhao Yu warned. With a bitter expression, Hua Dahai walked straight into the base, ignoring the glances from his associates. Around 10 minutes later, Hua Dahai led a group of about 10 men out. Their hands was empty. From a distance, Captain Huang observed and admired Hua Dahai's sense of loyalty. Such honorable men to his words at current world was very rare. Zhao Yu smiled slightly and walked over. He was genuinely interested in Hua Dahai and his men. If he could win them over, it would be a bonus to his plan. Hua Dahai and his crew had surrendered. Zhao Yu then turned their hideout as an office space and had someone register a company. As soon as the news got out, numerous individuals approached to seek investments. At first, Zhao Yu was intrigued, but their projects were mostly concept and no substance. Each was just a fancy PowerPoint presentation paired with grand guarantee that sounded too good to be real. Until the evening that some nearly bankrupt business owners came seeking acquisitions. Among them was a steel plant that Zhao Yu had his interest in. After a day of negotiations, Zhao Yu easily acquired the entire factory for just 2 million. He visited the plant and found that there were no significant issues. The transfer of ownership was smooth, and he even retained the original workforce. However, he added Hua Dahai and Hu's stubble-bearded Big Brother's men to monitor the operation. Worked tirelessly for an entire day and night, Zhao Yu was exhausted and returned to school. Bing City University was currently a safer place. The elites and privileged youth who were previously scattered across various countries were gradually brought back and sent to Bing City University for their studies. This made the security situation at Bing City University substantially improved. Previously, Zhao Yu was assuming Bing City University was just a regular school. After Al Xiaolu was created and obtained information, Zhao Yu became aware of these details. As he had suspected, no matter how influential the Huang family's guards were outside, they halted at the school's entrance, not venturing inside. Zhao Yu understood that the entry criteria for Bing City University would likely be raised in the future. After all, the powerful security here was closely related to the contributions of Bing City's elites. In the near future, Bing City's officials would establish security-tiered kindergartens, primary schools, and high schools to ensure the safety of new generation. After a day's events, Zhao Yu's return to school did not cause much commotion. The students were realizing that the bet was unrelated to them and began to lose interest. From the school gate to the dormitory, Zhao Yu only met a girl who asked him for his contact information. Compared to the time when he was fervently pursued and celebrated, his allure had significantly waned. Zhao Yu collapsed into bed and had a chaotic dream. In his dream, he was the most handsome man in the world, adored by all women globally. Moreover, he possessed a unique ability to grant anyone immortal life. Every day, numerous individuals traveled from afar to seek this gift of immortality. Suddenly, he was abruptly awoken by an insistent voices calling his name. Wang Zhuang, his roommate, was shaking him and shouting his name continuously. With his sleep and sweet dream interrupted made Zhao Yu slightly irritated. Wang Zhuang instinctively stepped back, terrified by the anger from Zhao Yu. Bro, 1 a.m. not intentionally disturbed you, but there's someone downstairs calling for you, and a lot of people are gathering now. Zhao Yu quickly checked out the direction Wang Zhuang mentioned. Zhao Yu, please, come down now. From outside the window, a tearful and slightly hoarse female voice called incessantly. Another woman seeking for immortality? Zhao Yu slapped himself to make sure his was not in his dream. Getting up with some confusion, Zhao Yu approached the window and looked down. As Wang Zhuang had said, both men and women had gathered in a circle below. Hua Xiaoxi, her head tilted upward, crying and shouting simultaneously at the center. Among the crowd, many sympathetic male students wanted to comfort her. Still, given she was calling for Zhao Yu, they hesitated. What's going on? I have no idea. She's been here and called Zhao Yu for quite some time. It looks like Zhao Yu dumped her. Damn it, men always changed as soon as they get rich. So much for Bing City's most romantic man. You are right. He was supposedly ready to get together with Lu Siyu, and now, in such a short span, he must have tracked more girls like her. I heard that Zhao Yu didn't return last night. Do you think he might have taken her or someone else out for the night? Very likely. Damn, that girl is Hua Xiaoxi, the most beautiful girl of the computer science department. Considering the male-to-female ratio in their department, the male students might all come to beat Zhao Yu up. Even though Zhao Yu's dormitory was on the 4th floor, he could hear the discussions of the passers-by below, making his head spin. Hua Xiaoxi, stop it now. What on earth are you yelling about downstairs? Sticking his head out, Zhao Yu shouted. Zhao Yu, come down quickly. Hua Xiaoxi finally stopped her crying and shouted with excitement. It must has to be something related to Hua Dahai. Zhao Yu began to head downstairs quickly to prevent his reputation deteriorated further. See you. Something has happened at the male dormitory. Lu Siyu was eating with a few other students at the student cafeteria. What did you say? Lu Siyu asked her again. There's a girl crying and making a scene at the male building. It looks like she was related to Zhao Yu. What? What kind of nonsense are you spouting? Zhao Yu is not that kind of person. Lu Siyu grabbed the girl's shoulder and accused her. I'm not making story up. The girl broke free of Lu Siyu first and continued. She was still at the male dormitory and asked Zhao Yu to come down for quite a while. If you don't believe me, go check it out yourself. This is impossible. Lu Siyu denied it immediately. Zhao Yu would never do it. Xiao Bingbing quickly picked up her phone and checked her every social media apps. She notified Lu Siyu that someone just posted a video in the school group chat. They even opened the video to view the content. Zhao Yu, get down here. A cute and obedient little girl was crying her eyes out. She stood outside the male dormitory and shouted for Zhao Yu to meet her for quite some time. She was surrounded by many audiences. See you. What kind of girl would do that to risk her reputation? That's right. Since she came over to seek out Zhao Yu by this method, she definitely has no another choice. Lu Siyu's mind was instantly thrown into chaos. She felt as everything was out of her control now. Zhao Yu used to be so loyal. He even jumped into the lake for her. Did he change? I will not believe this. This woman must be trying to get her hand on the money. She pushed everyone away and rushed out of the cafeteria. She arrived at the boys' dormitory to check out the situation herself. The other girls also lost their appetite and quickly chased after Lu Siyu. As expected, the place was crowded with people. It was impossible to see what was going on inside. Move aside. Lu Siyu's voice became sharp as she pushed relentlessly. Lu Siyu is here. Someone who knew her immediately shouted. When the crowd heard this, they all cleared out a path. When they realized that it was really Lu Siyu, they quickly followed behind her for more drama show. There's a good show to watch. The main character is up now. Lu Siyu quickly found the woman in the video. She was even more beautiful than in the video. Her face was like a porcelain doll in a fairy tale. The more she cried, the more charming she became.
Slut.
Lu Siyu cursed in her heart. Just as she was about to go up and question her, Zhao Yu appeared on the scene. She could not care less about Hua Xiaoxi. She ran straight to Zhao Yu and questioned him. Zhao Yu, what's happening now? What did you do to her? Who invited this woman over? Lu Siyu was a beauty as well, but unlike the past Zhao Yu, he preferred the cold and arrogant type of beauty. However, due to the previous death wish, he had to win her over. I don't know either. I just woke up and heard someone shouting downstairs, Zhao Yu patiently explained to her. You have no idea why she was crying for you? Which girl would cry in a public like this without consider about her reputation? A girl would only do this when she had suffered a major breakdown. Then tell me, do you know her? There is a possibility that this girl was trying to frame a scene for people to spread the rumor to get a piece of the 10 million. Zhao Yu looked at Lu Siyu and nodded. I know her. Zhao Yu, what did you do behind my back? Lu Siyu was shocked to hear it. Zhao Yu was also anxious about the misunderstanding between them and trying to figure things out. Wasn't this just a way to taint someone's innocence? I didn't do anything. Don't think too much. At this moment, Hua Xiaoxi walked up in front of the two of them and kneeled down. Zhao Yu, I was wrong. Everyone was shocked by her action. Even Zhao Yu was surprised by Hua Xiaoxi's actions. The Hua Xiaoxi he knew was an arrogance brat. A series of discriminate sight was on Zhao Yu. I knew it. Hua Xiaoxi came to settle the score. The two of them are not from the same faculty. I've never heard of them getting together before. It's obvious that it only happened after Zhao Yu got rich. Yeah, Hua Xiaoxi came out to ask for reconciliation. Zhao Yu must have dumped her after he played with her last night. Scumbag. Many of the boys looked envious. Lu Siyu and Hua Xiaoxi were goddesses in school, yet they had fall for Zhao Yu. Don't worry. He will die in a month. Hee, when he's dead, Hua Xiaoxi or Lu Siyu would be single again. Then, I'll get both of them and the money. Hey you, ugly. You may have Lu Siyu, but Hua Xiaoxi is mine. Words of others started to spread across the crowd. Zhao Yu understood Hua Xiaoxi came to beg for mercy on behalf of her brother, but he did not do anything further to her brother. What did Hua Dahai told her after they separated from the factory? Stop crying and get up first, Hua Xiaoxi. We can talk in private? Lu Siyu beside him shrugged her shoulders and said in a sobbing tone, Zhao Yu, do you really not love me anymore? My God, not you too? Could you not cause any more trouble? Zhao Yu quickly comfort Lu Siyu. How is that possible? I only love you. You are my only one. Lu Siyu pointed at Hua Xiaoxi who was still kneeling and crying on the ground. What about her? Our relationship is not similar to what you have in your mind at all. Zhao Yu wanted to elaborate, but he couldn't do so in public as everyone's still staring at them. After all, he was only recruited the loyalty Hua Dahai and as a private soldier. He was not kept as slave or work labor. He couldn't show it to her now, or else the plan wouldn't go on as there might be spy around him. It could be from the Huang, Su family, or their enemy. Then what is it? Lu Siyu asked. She did something wrong and came to apologize to me. Why H. Lu Siyu started to cry even louder. What kind of mistake she made that she must kneel down in public for your forgiveness? Moreover, why can't you tell me the truth? If he don't resolve the issue with Lu Siyu, he might fail his quest, and then his doppelganger would surely be wasted. Who knows, even his present consciousness might dissolve. Zhao Yu immediately pulled Lu Siyu into his embrace, bewitching her with his deep masculine aura. Don't overthink now. Calm down. I love only you. I even jumped into a lake for you. Don't you believe me? Zhao Yu blurted out a series of cringe-worthy romantic words one after the other. As for Lu Siyu, she was already overwhelmed. From her childhood till now, she had never been embraced by a man in such a manner. She instinctively tried to wriggle out, but Zhao Yu held her firmly, making her unable to escape. This strength from him gave her an instant sense of security. Deciding not to resist, she leaned her head comfortably against Zhao Yu's chest. Wah! Everyone gasped again. Zhao Yu's actions were purely to calm down Lu Siyu emotional from thinking too much. However, it wasn't just the two of them here. It was a place surrounded by dozens of people. At their feet, Hua Xiaoxi was still kneeling beside them. Peace. One of the boys took out his phone and took a picture of the scene. In the photo, Zhao Yu was embracing Lu Siyu, with Hua Xiaoxi kneeling at their feet. It appeared as if a scumbag guy had dumped his original partner, holding his new love in his arms. With Hua Xiaoxi's innocent and cute appearance, looked like she was crying her heart out, which was extremely heartbreaking. Damn it, this is just too much. Someone or anyone, please teach this Zhao Yu a lesson? He's so infuriating. We acquired the FFF group to drop a divine punishment on him. All kind of comment and summons appeared on the internet. After Lu Siyu calmed down. Get up first. Zhao Yu requested Hua Xiaoxi to stand up first. Let's find a quiet place to talk. Lu Siyu quickly interjected, one want to come too. Soon, they made their way through the crowd to a secluded spot within the school grounds. Siyu, wait here for a moment. One have something to discuss with her. To Lu Siyu's surprise, upon reaching the spot, Zhao Yu asked her to stay back. She pouted, unhappy. You said you had no connection with her, didn't you? There's nothing between us, don't you trust me? We're just discussing something. It'll be quick. Lu Siyu realized she might have overreacted, especially since Hua Xiaoxi didn't seem to show any love reaction when Zhao Yu held her. Perhaps their relationship wasn't what she had imagined. With this realization, Lu Siyu felt relieved but still reminded him, just don't go too far away. Okay. Zhao Yu nodded and moved about 10 meters away with Hua Xiaoxi. Zhao Yu, please, spare my brother. Hua Xiaoxi pleaded once more. Zhao Yu, with a calm expression, replied, do you know that Hua Dahai wants to kill me? It's a misunderstanding. I told him you bullied me. He didn't actually want to kill you. Hua Xiaoxi hadn't expected that in just a night. Her brother would be captured by Zhao Yu. She hadn't anticipated that Zhao Yu would be under the protection of the Huang family. So, you're saying because of you that Hua Dahai came after me? I asked him to teach you a lesson. If there's any retribution, let it be on me. Come back here tonight at 9. Alone. Understood? This place has less people pass through during the day and even lesser at night. It was evident what Zhao Yu might intend by asking her to come at that hour. However, she couldn't refuse. Her brother's safety was in Zhao Yu's hands. Moreover, she hadn't expected her seemingly invincible brother to fall into Zhao Yu's trap. I understand, she whispered. Good. Go home now. Don't mention our agreement to anyone. After sending Hua Xiaoxi on her way, Zhao Yu took Lu Siyu out for a meal before leaving the school. When they returned to the stronghold, Hua Dahai rushed over. Brother Zhao Yu, more than 10 bosses came over this morning to look for you about investment and acquisition. Where are they? They're still waiting in the office. Zhao Yu nodded and asked Hua Dahai an unrelated question. Hua Dahai, have you heard about my situation? I have. After a day's time to process, he had come to understand why Zhao Yu was so wealthy and why he had the protection of the Huang family. When he learned that Zhao Yu had set up a trap, using Miss Su of the Su family to liquidate 10 million from the Huang family, Hua Dahai was utterly shocked, feeling that Zhao Yu was audaciously bold. What even surprised him was the Huang family had to even assign people to protect him from the first day till the end of this month. At the same time, he also heard about the incident in the black market where Zhao Yu had killed 2 of Huang's guards right in front of their peers. Yet, despite this, they continued to protect him. From these rumors, Zhao Yu appeared to be even more unpredictable than Hua Dahai had imagined. It was just unfortunate that Zhao Yu only had a month left to live. Why do you think I dealt with the Huang family for that 10 million? Zhao Yu questioned. Wasn't it for a woman? Do I look like that to you? Zhao Yu retorted. Hua Dahai wasn't very familiar with Zhao Yu. Most of the information he had was based on rumors, like Zhao Yu being the most passionate man in Bing City and how he had jumped into a lake for love. In these chaotic times, a man's ambitions should span far and wide. How can he be trapped by emotions? Hua Dahai was wondering, could the rumors about Zhao Yu be false? Many people had witnessed Zhao Yu leap into the lake. If it wasn't for love, was it to cultivate a public image? Hua Dahai was recalling the night when the bet was established. Could it be that Zhao Yu deliberately set everything up to bait Huang Zilong? It seemed impossible. Yet, Zhao Yu's demeanor indicated this might just be the truth. Do you know why I'm telling you all this? I don't. Hua Dahai shook his head. I've taken a liking to you. Hua Dahai stiffened, feeling an odd tightening sensation, instinctively taking a step back. Zhao Yu's mouth twitched, realizing he had not made himself clear. He quickly added, "Don't get the wrong idea. I admire your sense of loyalty." Hua Dahai, a bit startled, blurted, "Brother Zhao Yu, I have hemorrhoids. Get lost. I told you. I admire your loyalty, and I want you to work for me." "Oh, I see now. Is that so?" "Ha ha ha ha." Hua Dahai breathed a sigh of relief. However, he decided that he would lock his doors and windows tightly when sleeping every night.
Yes.
"I set up this scheme precisely for that 10 million. Do you think I'm innocent enough to just throw my life away for nothing? You have a almost 100% guarantee project, and that's why you took the risk?" Hua Dahai widened his eyes. However, he quickly regained his composure. "Aren't you afraid I'll report to the Su or Huang families? Do you really think they'd believe the words of nobody?" Zhao Yu responded with a faint smile. "Besides, even if they did believe you, would they call to stop then?" Hua Dahai realized the game was already fated to play out, and the reason for initiating it had become irrelevant. With Su Xiao and Huang Zilong involved in the game, it was about the reputation of the Su and Huang family. They will make sure the game carried on till the end without any party's interruption. "Would you like to join me in building a legacy?" Zhao Yu invited Hua Dahai to join in. "Me? With you as a team?" Hua Dahai took his time to reconsider about it. "Your sister asked to meet me at 9 tonight." Zhao Yu decided to give him a push. "My sister?" Hua Dahai's expression turned bleak. For someone like Zhao Yu, who'd stake his life on a gamble, he knew Zhao Yu must planning to use his sister. After all, his sister was his weak spot. Without his present to protect her, Zhao Yu could go after her. "I'll work with you." Hua Dahai finally agreed to Zhao Yu's proposal. "Great. Don't reveal this to anyone, not even someone close to you." Zhao Yu reminded him. Hua Dahai felt more at ease. Zhao Yu wasn't the kind to talk without action. It was clear he had a plan. By cooperating with him, there might be a day of success for his family. With that, no one would ever threaten his sister again. Once he talked out with Hua Dahai, Zhao Yu immediately arranged appointment with several bosses to discuss about their offer. The owners of the two factories he had his eye on came today. However, Zhao Yu did not rush to show his intentions. Through some tactics and negotiation, he finally acquired the last two factories with minimum expenses. Together, they only cost him 7 million. During the test run, he found out the equipment he bought over has a critical problem. The CNC machine tools were not precise enough based on his design. With the help of Xiao Lu, Zhao Yu found out that the equipment he required only sold by one company in Bing City. This company was owned by the Yu family, equivalent to Huang family in status and power. It won't be easy to buy from them then. After scrolling through the past transactions in Bing City, Xiao Lu found that the Yu family had sold a few such machines at exorbitant prices, more than what Zhao Yu had left. Financial bottleneck now. If this step in his plan faltered, he'd have to reveal everything to the Su family and seek their protection. The consequence of this would be losing his autonomy, becoming a weapon research expert under them till dead. It seems I have to work on the childs of the Yu family. If I could set up a gamble like I did with Huang Zilong, that would be ideal. Zhao Yu contemplated about his next step. The gamble with Huang Zilong was improvised on spot with the presence of Su Xiao. First step was still to get to know someone from the Yu family. I probably wouldn't even get through the door if I directly approached them. Zhao Yu instructed Xiao Lu to investigate the students list to figure out any members of the Yu family studied in Bing City University. Xiao Lu found one, a female student, and she was a grade above Zhao Yu. I need to find a proper way to meet her. Zhao Yu remembered that the school had recently initiated a weekly social gathering for the wealthy and influential. It aimed to help them deepen their relationships and establish connections. It was scheduled for the very next day. This presented an opportunity for Zhao Yu to find a way to attend. With this in mind, Zhao Yu returned to the school and headed straight to the instructor's office. "You want to attend the social party?" The instructor found Zhao Yu's request was surprising. That event is for influential or wealthy figures in the city. It's designed to help them start networking early. It was not meant for, the instructor began to explain. "You're right about the event. but the school has set an entrance threshold of 5 million. I happen to meet that requirement. The instructor was momentarily at a loss for words. Wasn't he aware of how he got that 10 million? Zhao Yu casually took out a red envelope containing 1,000 and handed it to the instructor. You don't need to trouble yourself too much. Just introduce me to the vice principal in charge of the organization. Oh, it's a small matter. This is my duty. Let's go. But I let you know in advance. Whether or not things work out is up to you. I can't really help much. Of course. With the instructor leading the way, Zhao Yu met the vice principal responsible for the event. It seems there shouldn't be a problem. The school's stipulated threshold for the gathering is indeed 5 million. However, do you really think you fit in there? From my observations, the attendees, despite being of similar ages, usually adhere to societal norms. Those with powerful family backgrounds hold the highest status. Although not everyone there belongs to the top elite families, those from lesser backgrounds simply play subordinate roles, often fawning over the richer and powerful attendees. Can you accept that? He spoke the harsh truth as advice for Zhao Yu on reconsidering his decision, with veils of pretense being lifted. Hence, he wasn't afraid of speaking bluntly about the truth. I just want to experience it for myself. After all, I have 10 million at hand. Maybe I run into someone similar to me. The vice principal didn't object. All right, I like your spirit. Don't be late. Be there at 10 a.m. tomorrow. Do you need to verify my assets? Zhao Yu asked. No need. Your name, Zhao Yu, is quite renowned these past few days. The vice principal responded. Zhao Yu successfully obtained the address for the party, which was his primary goal. Now, his next target will be the child from the Yu family. Although the gathering was held within the school, the location was kept secret to avoid disturbances from less wealthy students. Moreover, no cameras were allowed to prevent any inappropriate content from being leaked. That's why even Xiao Lu wasn't aware of its whereabouts. The gathering was held underground in the library. Time flew, and it was already 9 p.m. Zhao Yu remembered his promise with Hua Xiaoxi. He quickly walked towards the grove. Hua Xiaoxi was already there. She sat alone on a bench, motionless, looking rather melancholic. You got here so early? Zhao Yu approached her and noticed Hua Xiaoxi had made an effort with her appearance. She wore in Lolita style, which made her more adorable. Hua Xiaoxi managed to smile and took out a small square object and handed it to Zhao Yu. It's my first time. Can you be gentle with me? Oh? What's this? If you don't want to use it, that's fine. Just let my brother go, and you can do whatever you want. Hua Xiaoxi had misunderstood his intentions. She thought he had invited her out late at night with ulterior motives. This left him speechless. If he hadn't said those things to Hua Dahai earlier, he might have played along. If he did anything to his sister now, Hua Dahai would probably want to kill him. Zhao Yu felt a mix of regret and frustration. Hua Xiaoxi's adorable attire was in front of him, yet he realized that he have to wait for a more appropriate time. He shook his head, pulling a USB drive from his pocket. I'm not the kind of person who takes advantage of others in vulnerable situations. If you want to make amends, help me by plugging this USB drive into the school main server. Zhao Yu arrived at the social party on time. There were 300 to 500 attendees. All of them were either from the noble family or they were influencer themselves. As Zhao Yu entered, many were surprised of his arrival. It was evident that many had heard rumors about Zhao Yu. Why did he come? I don't know. I heard he got 10 million from Huang Zilong. He bet that he'd double it to 20 million in a month. Is that true? Heh, want to know if it's true? Why not ask Huang Zilong? A confident student walked straight up to Huang Zilong and teased him. Huang Zilong, your debtor is here. Aren't you going to serve him? Initially irritated, Huang Zilong quickly reined in his temper and made some casual remarks. Even without asking, Huang Zilong knew that Zhao Yu was looking for a way to turn his 10 million into 20 million. If there was a way to double 10 million, I would have done it myself. Huang Zilong knew the caliber of the attendees. Over the past days, he discussed with close associates to double 10 million in a month. The consensus was that it's impossible through legitimate means. Only a legal way could achieve such result. A bold individual approached Zhao Yu. Hello, our Romeo of Bing City University. How about another bet on 20 million? Zhao Yu was surrounded by many. This wasn't ideal for his goal to approach the member of Yu family. Sure, a 20 million. Let's do it. Hiss. There were murmurs of disbelief from the crowd. Zhao Yu intended to gamble with someone to double his 10 million. Many lost interest about Zhao Yu's purpose as they assumed he was just like those ordinary people who struggled to enter their circle. Although the venue held hundreds, only a small percentage were truly from elite classes with power. Most students were just from wealthy families that try to bond with those upper-class families. All of them only has one goal in this party, which it was to mingle with the heirs of great families like Huang Zilong and gain some benefits. With everyone busy with their own business, Zhao Yu began to look for the heir from the Yu family. After searching through the crowd, Zhao Yu found his target. Yu Chu Shui was accompanied by 3 girls at a corner table. Zhao Yu walked over to introduce himself. Everyone around the table noted Zhao Yu's intention. Why is he looking for Yu Chu Shui? Ha ha ha. Showtime. At the same time, the long-haired boy who had teased Huang Zilong noticed Zhao Yu's action. Huang Zilong, Zhao Yu went to look for your wife. What do you think he was about to do to her? Watch your words. She's just my fiancée. Isn't that the same thing? Is he asking for money from your fiancée? The long-haired boy laughed. However, with so many people looking at him now, it would be inappropriate if he say anything nasty. Huang Zilong decided to walk over and figure it out himself. Hello, are you Yu Chu Shui? Zhao Yu asked politely. He kept reminded himself as his mission now was to get to know each other well first. Where did this idiot come from? Why don't you check out yourself with the mirror first? Get lost. She shouldn't be difficult to get along with. Who knew that her words would really make Zhao Yu want to retreat? If it was another occasion, he would definitely teach her a lesson. Since Zhao Yu had a favor to ask of the Yu family, so he had to build a good impression in front of her. The girl beside Yu Chu Shui seemed to recognize Zhao Yu and quickly whispered into her ear. Yu Chu Shui's eyes flashed as she asked, "You're Zhao Yu?" Zhao Yu nodded and revealed a smile that he thought was friendly. It's me. Yu Chu Shui cursed angrily. You are the F***eking idiot who robbed 10 million from the Bug? Bug? Do anyone he knew has Bug as his name? Zhao Yu rethink a few times and got no one he knew matched this name. A few meters away, Huang Zilong paused and decided against approaching and was about to leave when a familiar, intimidating voice rang out. Bug, where are you going? Huang Zilong turned his head. Yu Chu Shui looked at him with bright eyes, gazing at him. Cough, cough. I have something on. I'll make a move first. The long-haired man shuddered and quickly left. Huang Zilong started to regret his earlier decision to come over. He braced himself and walked over, greeted her. Sister Shui? What's going on? Other than Su Xiao Xiao, there was another girl who Huang Zilong could not handle well. Zhao Yu observed the two, slightly bewildered by their dynamic. They know each other? Moreover, Huang Zilong seemed to be acting humbly in front of her. According to the information Xiao Lu had found, their families should be in a similar position. Come, sit here. Let your sister help you reclaim your dignity. Yu Chu Shui patted the couch beside her, signaling Huang Zilong to sit there. How possible an honor man would take that seat like a pet, especially the Huang Zilong he knew. Just as Zhao Yu, though, Huang Zilong obediently walked over him and sit down beside her. What's going on? Am I blind? Did Huang Zilong just did it as he was told? Where was the Huang Zilong I knew? Yu Chu Shui gazed at Zhao Yu and announced, Huang Zilong is my fiancé. You swindled 10 million from him is similar as causing me 10 million. Fiancé? More like a pet or toy to you. Zhao Yu looked at Huang Zilong in surprise. Huang Zilong's face filled with embarrassment and helplessness, completely unlike him at the bar earlier. Zhao Yu realized many people nearby seemed interested in their conversation but distanced themselves. Maybe they were wary of Yu Chu Shui. Yu Chu Shui's family background wasn't much stronger than Huang Zilong's in terms of military power. Of course, Yu family was nowhere near the Su family. Still, why was everyone so afraid of Yu Chu Shui like Su Xiao Xiao? Swindle is not the right word. Huang Zilong and I had a fair wager, with Miss Su as the witness. How could you say it was a swindle? Heh.
Yu Chu Susna, wager?
Do you think you're worth 10 million, and how are you going to win? I can. Let me prove it to you. Zhao Yu nodded.
Impossible.
She laughed. In a month? Even for us with our family, to double it in a legal way is nearly impossible. Someone like you able to double 10 million to 20 million in a month? Money does not drop from sky or grow itself, okay? Dummy. Zhao Yu became excited. Do you dare to bet? This is the right time. Many eavesdropping nearby knew Zhao Yu was looking for such opportunity when they heard this. Huang Zilong interrupted their conversation. Sister Shui, don't be fooled by him. He had been outsmarted by Zhao Yu in the past, but not this time. Keep it to yourself. Yu Chu Shui rolled her eyes, implying that Zhao Yu will not get it this time. Is he really her fiancé? While Zhao Yu thought of it, he saw Huang Zilong finally stand up for himself. However, he merely agreed, with a compliant smile, and praised her intelligence. It was a bizarre. Zhao Yu found their interaction to be quite unhealthy and disgusted him. Zhao Yu observed the reactions of others at the same time. He noticed no one seemed surprised. Could it mean other that Su Xiao, Yu Chu Shui was the another queen and had often bullied these people since young age? The only analogy he could think of was the story of how baby elephants are trained with a rope, making them submissive even when they're fully grown. Zhao Yu started to think of a plan in his mind. However, betting with someone like you and making some quick money doesn't sound too bad. Yu Chu Shui voiced out her own opinion. Huang Zilong quickly advised her, Sister Shui, betting with him is a loss. He's a doomed man within a month. Yu Chu Shui immediately silencing Huang Zilong with a fiercely stare. This bracelet was a birthday gift from my mother on my 18th birthday. Before that, it had been sold at a high-end auction for 18 million. Zhao Yu finally get to understand Yu Chu Shui's behavior. If he could get another similar gift for her, he could formally negotiate with the Yu family about purchasing precision machinery. Money will do the talk. Yu Chu Shui smirked and handed the bracelet to Zhao Yu. Zhao Yu reached out to catch it without second thought. However, as he was about to get his hand on the bracelet, Yu Chu Shui purposely chucked it away. Crack! A crisp sound echoed as the bracelet shattered into two on the floor. How dare you broke my bracelet? Yu Chu Shui's voice filled with rage. Her loud outcry captured the attention of everyone in the venue. Zhao Yu was frozen. He knew clearly that it was Yu Chu Shui's trap, and he just walked straight into it. Damn! She was great at tricking people too. Yu Chu Shui mockingly whispered, just loud enough for the two of them to hear. You think you're worthy of getting to know me? Meanwhile, everyone began to approach. Huang Zilong finally understood Yu Chu Shui's tactic. Indeed, that bracelet was a precious gift from Yu Chu Shui's mother on her 18th birthday. He never thought she would shatter it on the spot just for him. Her sacrificing move for him really touched his heart. Yet, he also realized she was Yu Chu Shui, and to live with her in the future. Knowing her too well, he felt only headache about it. Regarding Yu Chu Shui, she bore deep psychological scars because of Huang Zilong. Indeed, as Zhao Yu speculated, during their childhood, girls tend to develop faster than boys. Yu Chu Shui was the head among her peers. Given the good relations between the Yu and Huang families, the two had been engaged from a young age. So Yu Chu Shui and Huang Zilong had many interactions, growing up like childhood sweethearts. However, everything started to change after a particular role-playing game. It was a scene from a movie. A bandit leader attempted an assassination on two evil spirits. Accidentally, one of his underlings knocked over a candle, setting the leader's crotch on fire. The other bandits gathered around, trying to put out the fire by stomping on it. This scene, naturally, was imitated by the children. After Yu Chu Shui's careful selection, Huang Zilong was chosen as the bandit leader. The result was that Huang's mother urgently rushed him to the hospital. Luckily enough, the burn was not too serious and the doctors managed to save Huang Zilong's little brother back. Nevertheless, the traumatic event left both Yu Chu Shui and Huang Zilong with deep fears and scars about the event. Now, whenever he sees Yu Chu Shui, he feels as if he's been transported back to his vulnerable childhood, feeling like that helpless little boy. Holy shit, a bracelet worth more than 10 million was just shattered? Was it Zhao Yu's doing? The surrounding crowd was gazing at the broken bracelet with sympathy as if it belonged to them. I didn't break the bracelet, Zhao Yu frowned. It was you. Yu Chu Shui now appeared entirely different from her previous crude self, instead exuding a delicate and fragile demeanor. To those unfamiliar with her, her act combined with her innocent face was incredibly deceptive. All eyes and accusations turned to Zhao Yu. Zhao Yu was speechless. He didn't expect that the young lady of the Yu family would resort to such a beauty trick. He noticed there were no surveillance cameras. His innocence would be hard to prove. He turned to Huang Zilong. You were here. You saw it, right? Huang Zilong glanced cautiously at Yu Chu Shui before shaking his head. I didn't see anything. I was dozing off. We saw it. The girls with Yu Chu Shui began to speak. We saw the whole progress. It was Zhao Yu. Yes, that bracelet was a birthday gift from Yu's mother. You must compensate. He can't afford it even if he sells himself. Some say he scammed Huang Zilong out of 10 million. That's still not enough. Zhao Yu felt overwhelmed. This was his first experience of being falsely accused like this. I've told you, I didn't drop it. She let go of it on purpose. Most people present seemed to revel in his misfortune. In situations like this, responsibility should be shared. The last auction price for Miss Yu's bracelet was 18 million. Zhao Yu realized the truth. No one here was on his side for the truth. They all sided with Yu Chu Shui's Zhao Yu was just a nobody. Looking at Yu Chu Shui, who still acted innocent, Zhao Yu felt a rush of rage, but took a deep breath to calm himself. I need some time to gather the money. I have to sell my newly acquired company. Yu Chu Shui smiled slightly. Fine. I give you 3 days. Poor guy. He managed to get 10 million from Huang Zilong, and now he lost all of it. Such a person doesn't deserve sympathy. After all, he was not one of us. The people glad to watch Zhao Yu fall miserable. Yu Chu Shui looked up to find Zhao Yu glaring at her menacingly. She bore an expression of contempt. Her arrogant eyes seemed to be saying, I did it on purpose. What can you do about it? Hit me. I didn't expect. Huang Zilong would need a woman to fight your battle. With Yu Chu Shui present, he dared not show his displeasure. Yu Chu Shui coolly said, I am his fiancé. We are one. What is the difference? Her words touched Huang Zilong, but such woman also was the worst lady he would date out. Zhao Yu glanced around and realized continue to stay here was pointless. He decided to leave. Don't forget the money. Clear it within 3 days. As he was leaving, Yu Chu Shui took the opportunity to mock him, her tone carrying a hint of glee. Still, Zhao Yu did not show signs of anger or breakdown. She felt a twinge of dissatisfaction and added, During these 3 days, I'll have the bug lock your cards. Zhao Yu halted, turning back to give Yu Chu Shui one last look. She met his gaze defiantly, her eyes filled with a mix of mockery and derision. With the end of the drama, Zhao Yu's departure did not disrupt the social party. People continued as usual, mingling and networking with one another. After leaving the library, Zhao Yu went straight back to his dormitory. As he approached the entrance, he noticed 2 girls were waiting for him. One was Lu Siyu, and the other was Hua Xiaoxi. He expected to see Hua Xiaoxi. She must be here to report about the favor. But he couldn't understand why Lu Siyu was there. Zhao Yu, did you bought a factory? Lu Siyu approached him with an interrogative look as soon as he appeared. Yes. Why didn't you discuss it with me? Lu Siyu looked genuinely upset. One heard you spent 6 to 7 million outside. One didn't believe it at first, but now it turns out to be true. Do you have any idea how hard it is to start a business? I heard that those 3 factories are on the brink of bankruptcy. If the payment's still on hold, cancel it now. Within a few seconds, she had voiced a flurry of concerns. The money has been paid, and the 3 factories are now mine, Zhao Yu responded calmly. Lu Siyu's behavior made him uncomfortable, as if the 10 million was her money. If it weren't for fulfilling the original owner's last wish, he would not have bothered with a woman like Lu Siyu. Can it be refunded? Let's go and try to cancel the purchase.
Liu Siyu urged.
She had never expected to hear the news that Zhao Yu had spent the money after waiting for 2 days. She had mentally claimed the 10 million as hers, and she felt Zhao Yu's spending was squandering her money. Zhao Yu took a moment to think. The original owner's last wish was to win over Lu Siyu. Did that mean physically or emotionally? If it was physical, 10 million could do the trick. But if it was her heart, given Lu Siyu's current attitude towards him, even 100 years wouldn't be enough. Zhao Yu started to weigh his options. If he continued to appease Lu Siyu, her expectations might grow. If he gave the money without winning her heart, he would fail to fulfill the original owner's last wish, and that would be problematic. Moments later, Zhao Yu had his answer. He questioned, Lu Siyu, have you ever truly liked me? Lu Siyu was not expecting Zhao Yu to ask her such a question. She struggled to find a response. After a while, she ambiguously replied, Isn't the fact that I came to see you proof that I care about you? Are you sure it's not my money you're concerned about? If you really cared about me, why didn't you ask where I went this morning or what I ate for breakfast? Why are you always concerned about the money? It was the first time that Zhao Yu confronted her this way. He had never spoken to her like this before. Zhao Yu didn't press further on this issue. Instead, he shifted gears and asked, Do you think I can win the gamble against the Huang family? Lu Siyu remained silent. Deep down, she believed that Zhao Yu couldn't win. In fact, everyone felt the same. Everyone knew that Zhao Yu's gamble with the Huang family because she once mentioned to him about having 2 elderly family members who needed a 10 million exemption. If you think I can't win, with only a month left for me, shouldn't you be more concerned about my well-being? Lu Siyu hesitated, feeling a pang of guilt. She wondered if she had been too materialistic. After all, the 10 million would eventually be hers. Her impatience might lead to Zhao Yu rebelling, and that would be,
I'm sorry. Zhao Yku.
I'm just worried about you, she finally admitted. Hearing Lu Siyu's apology, Zhao Yu inwardly nodded, understanding that he had made the right move. His demeanor softened. After consoling her briefly, he made Lu Siyu feel that he still cared about her.